whether that person goes on to be an NHL superstar or this is the last organized hockey they play is at St. Andrews. I want them to look back in their recollection and say, that was the best 2-3 years of my life playing hockey.
All right, Coach, can you please state your name and what your position is at the school?
I'm David Manning, and I'm a hockey coach at St. Andrews College. Like any Canadian kid, and during the long winter, hockey and the rink became a place where you spent a lot of time. I'm the youngest of 3 boys, so I got dragged to the arena to watch my brothers play a lot, and spent a lot of time in the back corner of the rink shooting, crushed up Pepsi cans into the net, and from there, I guess, just grew a real love for the game. Yeah, I think I was probably always destined to do something like this. My first hockey coaching experience was actually in Serbia, in Europe, and I went to Serbia for a hockey cultural teaching kind of coaching experience, and that was through a former teammate of mine at Colby, who was a St. Andrews old boy, class of '97 of St. Andrews, Fred Perrone. So through that opportunity there, we spent some time in Europe and playing and coaching, like I said there. And I went back to Newfoundland to do my teaching degree post that experience, and taught for a couple of years in Newfoundland, and continued to coach and be involved in different things, and worked as a youth care worker while I was teaching. And the opportunity, he reached out and said, hey, St. Andrews is looking for a hockey coach and a teacher. And the opportunity to come was presented, and honestly, I really kind of jumped at the opportunity.
As David progressed and got into the coaching piece, you could tell there was something there that really good coaches have, and that's the passion and purpose. Like, it's not just about X's and O's, it's about always having the passion to get better and having a purpose to help young men become men. David's really unique in how he has developed as a coach, in the sense of kind of going outside the box. He's just a thoughtful guy as far as what's going on in the game, and you could tell that he's had some pedigree with that as far as understanding it.
Just north of Toronto sits the beautiful campus of St. Andrews College, home to one of the most prestigious prep hockey academies in the world. What has been a funnel for countless NHL-level players in the past is all thanks to a program developed by their revolutionary leader.
I think at any time a parent trusts us as a staff to essentially help raise their child, if we don't treat it like a family, then we're not doing them a service, the parents. And so the boys need to know they can trust us. They need to know that they can count on us. They need to know that we've got their back. They need to know that, we're putting our heart and soul into operating, running, and giving these guys the most amazing experience possible, and building an environment that each and every day challenges them, fulfills them, gives them joy. And if we're able to have some success and win some games along the way, then that's just, the cherry on top. But I think if we don't treat it like a family, then we're not doing our job properly.
Coach Manning, obviously, he's done a great job here. He's involved with not only our hockey, but us as people. he cares about his players, and that's obvious to the guys he's coached. And yeah, without him here, program's not where it is.
Yeah, I mean, he's very helpful. He gives a lot of feedback, a lot of good feedback. So I mean, on practice every day, if you're doing something wrong, he's going to sit you down and he's going to tell you what's wrong and how to fix it. So that's what I like about him, is the developmental side and the feedback he gives.
If you don't have good leadership, it's really tough to have success. And so I think that from that top-down approach of just being unified and singular to, I think at this place, like, we're all aligned with putting the student first.
The rink we have, the access to coaches we have, it's second to none, especially at the prep hockey level. Always good competition we're up against, so we got to bring our A game, and Manning helps us with that. He puts us in a competitive environment before we even play the games.
So our schedule building over the years, right from when I started in 2008 to now, has always been about how can we challenge ourselves to play at even higher levels. And so, you know, we've always been able to seek out opponents that would challenge us and push us to the level we needed to be at. And so the creation of the Prep Hockey Conference was an evolution of that.
The Prep Hockey Conference is an ultra-competitive hockey league featuring some of the top prep schools across North America, including programs that have produced prominent Stanley Cup champions like Sidney Crosby, Jonathan Toews, and Robert Thomas. Coach Manning was a major factor in the creation of the league in 2021 and has since raised the standard for prep hockey across the continent. For Manning Saints, this means better competition and greater travel distances. This year, the Saints concluded their season on the road in upstate New York at one of the most historical hockey venues anywhere on the globe.
Going to that place, the history in that rink, the Olympic rink, it was pretty special playing our final games there, final moments with the boys in Lake Placid. It's pretty close to pro life. Some of the guys had quizzes and tests to take there on the bus.
The travel, we're on the road a lot, which is a lot like the pros, so getting that aspect of it in is really good for the players in the program, and kind of prepares us for the next level.
There is no better example of St. Andrews' success and professionalism translating at the next level than Division I's Cornell University. Cornell has seen 5 Saints players don the Big Red uniform since 2015, 4 of which were NHL draft selections, as well as 2 Hobey Baker Award finalists. Coach Manning's relationships and outreach with teams at higher levels is the foundation of his players' future careers.
Yeah, I think it's a great relationship. We've had a number of guys that have come from St. Andrews and had great success at Cornell. So we're very fortunate to have them not just as hockey players, but some great young men that have come from St. Andrews to play for us here at Cornell. So we think it's a pretty favorable relationship.
You could say it's a Cornell pipeline out of Sac, and I guess the history has proven that. But yeah, it's really nice, especially because I'm in the same situation with Luke. And I played with him at Sac, and I'm playing with him again at Cornell. It's pretty special.
I think the great thing about Coach Manning is he's really great about coaching to like each individual player. The thing I respect the most about him is that he truly just cares about the players. He wants to see, he would rather, if he was guaranteed that every player could fulfill their dream in hockey, he would lose as many games. He just wants guys to move on, and winning is a byproduct of that. He wins because he cares about each guy and where they want to go, and so he's able to move guys on, and then he wins because of it, because he's able to develop players so well.
He is a an excellent person, but an even better coach. And my relationship with him was pretty deep. And you know, he helped me a lot through the whole Division I process and NHL draft process. So yeah, I owe him a lot. And yeah, he's going to be a friend and a coach I look up to for probably the rest of my life.
I'd love to take credit for amazing athletes. And I think the one thing I can probably maybe take credit for is that we've been able to just build a great environment. And within the environment, we have some amazing kids who continually make us look good. And so seeing those NHL guys, I'll be honest, it's like, it's almost not real. It's just, you see them and you still see the 16, 17-year-old kid that you coached, and now he's just wearing a different jersey, and it's kind of, you have to like pinch yourself because it's so exciting. And you know, moments like that, like whether it's in the warm-up or watching him score a goal. I remember the first time watching a player that I coached score a goal in the NHL. Yeah, like I almost jumped through the ceiling. It was, you know, it was emotional, really. It really was.
The purpose of St. Andrews hockey has always been to advance its players to the next level. Though for Manning, his goals as a coach have stretched farther than the game of hockey could ever reach, as his focus on building the individual is something that has consistently circled back with him throughout his career.
When you have the opportunity to be any type of leader, there's a responsibility to you know, do things the right way, whether it's in your classroom and with your team or with your kids. I think there's always people watching and expecting you to act, behave, lead, motivate in a certain way. So I feel that responsibility to be energetic, to be, you know, organized, to be on time, to motivate, to hold people accountable, all the things. I think the word responsibility probably comes to mind.
It's not the time that you have with them as athletes. I mean, that's important, but back to the passion and purpose. The purpose is a lifelong purpose of trying to help guys develop as people. And so for David to get into coaching, for David to call me for advice, for David to teach me things about how to deal with kids, it's kind of you know, he's got a family now, and I have some of his players, and it's just, you know, I'm really proud of him, and it's something you do strive for. You do strive for your guys to move on to the next level and have that tree, so to speak, of maybe guys who played for you move on to bigger and better things.
Manning's uncanny ability to help produce some of the best amateur talent in the world has been greatly underappreciated and unnoticed until recently, because top-level programs are now continuously adding Manning's players to their rosters. But recognition is not on Coach Manning's radar. Rather, he aims to establish something much greater that has a lasting impact on his players.
And so whether that person goes on to be an NHL superstar or this is the last, you know, organized hockey they play is at St. Andrews, I want them to look back in their recollection and say, you know, that was the best, you know, 2-3 years of my life playing hockey. And I think, you know, I guess selfishly too, I guess the other part would be if, you know, in 20 years, I have a group of 20 guys and I look at the team and a bunch of those guys are coaching, then all that'll probably bring a little smile to my face, knowing that, like, hey, maybe we sparked something in them like that was sparked in me, you know, many moons ago.